Devin Booker cannot legally drink a beer in the United States, but he just dropped 70 points in an NBA basketball game. Seriously, guys, how do we react to this? Michael Jordan, the greatest basketball player to ever live, has a career high of 69 points. Devin Booker has a career high of 70, and he's 20 years old. So yeah, what's up, guys? If you don't know me, my name is Mike, and if you do know me, well then, you know I've been on the Devin Booker hype train for the last year or so. I've been saying that he's a future all-star. I said he might be the top shooting guard in the league one day, but now I think he has surpassed those expectations. After watching this man all season and seeing what he's capable of, I don't think it's a stretch to say that he might be the next Kobe Bryant type player. And if you don't agree with me, well, sit back, because I have 5 stories/reasons that are about to convince you. Number 5, a young stud. So let's just start this video out by talking about the 70-point game. In the history of the league, 6 players have ever scored 70 points. Those guys are Wilt Chamberlain, Kobe Bryant, David Thompson, David Robinson, Elgin Baylor, and now Devin Booker. And obviously, Devin Booker is the youngest player on this list by a good amount. He also now holds the record for most points scored in TD Garden. He scored over 50 points in one half. He put up 70 points and only made 4 3-pointers. These stats are just mind-blowing. I can't emphasize that enough to you, but I don't think I even need to. With one single game, Devin Booker put himself in the company of the NBA's elite, and the craziest thing is, while 70 points in a single basketball game is obviously ridiculous, this type of insane output really shouldn't come as that much of a surprise, because this is nothing new. In his 2 years in the NBA, Devin has shown time and time again that he is one of the best young scorers in NBA history. Last year, despite the fact that he did not start until several of his teammates went down with injuries, Devin became the 4th youngest player to reach 1,000 career points. That same season, he became the only teenager, along with LeBron James, to ever record back-to-back 30-point games in the NBA. This season, Devin is averaging 21.6 points a game, making him one of only 6 players in the history of the league to average over 21 points at the age of 20 years old or younger. He's had 11 games with over 30 points. He's dropped 39 points on the Spurs. He's increased his scoring by almost 8 points a game while also shooting better from the field. So already we can see that Devin is putting up scoring numbers that make him one of the best young players in basketball history. He's already showing the potential to be a franchise star, just like a young Kobe Bryant in his early days with the Lakers. And as I'm sure you could guess right now, that's not the only thing Devin has in common with Kobe. Number 4, born with a chip on his shoulder. Now, you might be thinking that in order to compare Devin Booker, a 20-year-old kid who's never made an NBA All-Star game, to Kobe Bryant, one of the best players to ever play the game, well, I better have some good reasons here. And don't worry, I do. For one thing, their paths to the NBA have already been marked with some interesting similarities. Both guys had fathers who played in the NBA, both were passed on by 12 other teams and taken 13th, and both were the youngest players in their draft class. Now, when Devin scored 70, people began to make a big deal about these comparisons, and while I find these similarities interesting, it's really their similarities in terms of competitiveness that really gets me excited for Devin Booker's future. Because sure, Kobe played on a way better team than Devin in his rookie year, but despite that, both were in some pretty similar situations. Both Kobe and Dev were drafted by teams with older guards ahead of them, and they were both forced to prove themselves before they were able to start. And in order to prove themselves, both began to demonstrate absolutely legendary competitive streaks from the second they walked onto the practice floor. Now, we already know about Kobe Bryant's competitiveness, and if you don't, I've made a video on him. Check it out after this one if you want. So we don't need to talk about Kobe here. Let's talk about Devin. In the beginning of his rookie year, Dev wasn't playing much, so the Phoenix Suns practices became his games. He would spend hours on the court challenging everyone he could to shooting contests, knockout, one-on-one, you name it. And just like Kobe before him, Devin would not leave the gym until he beat whoever he was playing. Seriously, he would pester guys, bug them, stand in their way if they tried to leave after beating him. He's that competitive. And this type of attitude in a 19-year-old rookie, the need to beat established NBA veterans to prove himself? Well, that's the type of attitude you want to see in a young star. You want your shooting guard to be a competitive psychopath, just like two of the greatest shooting guards we've ever seen, Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. Because at the end of the day, two guards are just a different breed, which brings us to number 3. He's an assassin. If you're a star shooting guard, you're expected to carry the scoring load. You can't let 1, 2, 3, or even 10 misses in a row mess up your game. You need unwavering confidence in yourself that you're going to make the next shot, and you need the fire in your soul to want the ball when the game's on the line. Which is why, to me, it's no surprise that we've already seen Devin Booker this year knock down 2 huge game-winning shots. We've already seen him lead his team in scoring. We've already seen him drop 70 points in a single basketball game. Because in his own words, Devin Booker has said, "I always knew I was capable of this." And he was right. And the thing is, he's not the only one who has had this type of confidence in his game. His coach Earl Watson has recently said, "Watching Devin has reminded me of things that Kobe would do. Not just the athleticism and getting to the rim, but how Kobe was so skilled offensively he could just take over a quarter. Only an elite player could do that. And I guarantee you that as his career goes on, Devin Booker is going to show the world that he is an elite player. He is an assassin, and he might just be capable of a whole lot more." But as they say, talk is cheap. In order to really become a star in this league, a player needs to have a crazy work ethic. Now, we all know Kobe never slept, and Devin, well, number 2. An insane work ethic. Just like Kobe, it seems like Devin Booker never really has an off season. Just look at this summer where he spent his break playing for the Team USA select team while also participating in 2 or 3 a day practices with his trainer. This type of dedication has not gone unnoticed. In fact, Devin's already drawing some serious praise from the NBA's elite. After his rookie year, Dwayne Wade called him one of the future top 2 guards in the league. Klay Thompson said Devin is going to be a special player, and even Greg Popovich said Devin has got a great work ethic and he's got everything you need to be a great player. These statements are some serious praise for a man who was the 13th pick in the draft less than 2 years ago, but the improvement in Devin's game from Kentucky to the NBA has been more than clear. Much of his work since joining the Suns has been dedicated to expanding his skill set. As in high school and with Kentucky, he was seen mainly as a spot-up shooter. Then during his rookie year, once he began to break out a little, we began to hear more direct comparisons to Klay Thompson. And for a 20-year-old shooting guard, a comparison to one of the best shooting guards in the league is pretty great. But the thing is, somehow, recently Devin has managed to surpass those potential comparisons. As you know with this video, Devin Booker is now being compared to Kobe Bryant, which can only be a testament to his work ethic. In a remarkably short period of time, Devin has already rapidly improved his playmaking and ball handling ability, specifically out of the pick and roll. This drastic improvement in skill set has shown everyone that Devin is not just a spot-up shooter, he's not even just a future all-star. Instead, he's a future potential franchise player. Which brings us to the final reason I think Devin Booker could be the next Kobe Bryant. And that is simply, and number 1, his mentor is Kobe Bryant. Now at this point, we all already know that in his last game against the Suns in Phoenix, Kobe signed a shoe for Devin with the message, "Be legendary." But did you know that Kobe also compared his battles with a rookie Devin that season to the battles he faced when he was a rookie against a veteran Michael Jordan? Yup, after the Suns game, Kobe said, "Playing against Booker tonight, I mean, he went straight to my move the first time he caught it. I said, you don't have to beat me on my move, man." But it was great to see. It was absolutely great to see because I remember I did the same thing with MJ. Kobe would cap off that night by telling reporters that as a 19-year-old, Devin was already, quote, fantastic, and that he has the skills. Kobe and Devin's relationship has continued since that day, and Devin himself has said it's because of Kobe that he was able to achieve the mindset that made 70 points in one game possible. As Devin said, I've seen an interview with Kobe where he said what separated him from a lot of people was that everyone thought 30 points was a lot. He said he never set himself a limit, and you know, that always sticks in my head. He said he'd score 100 if he could, so he never set a limit. I don't put a limit on anything. Doesn't put a limit on anything. Like I said before, talk is cheap, but when you score 70 points in a basketball game, I start to believe that you might not have a limit on anything you do. And if you got anything out of this video, I hope it's just that you know know, I believe in Devin Booker. I think he's got that competitiveness. I think he's got that work ethic. I think he's just got these skills to be the next great shooting guard in the NBA. Whether that actually happens, well, that remains to be seen. But I'm really excited to watch the journey. So that wraps up today's video, guys. Thank you for watching. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe for videos like this, basketball what ifs, basketball conspiracy videos, and you know, you get to see more of this face. Not sure if you take that as a good or bad thing, but I hope you subscribe. To anyone who's already subscribed, thank you guys so much. I mean, come on, you're awesome. We know this. And as always, guys, have an awesome day, and cue that music.